everyone, and welcome to the channel. Sorry it's been a while since my previous video, but I've still been trying to get over this cold. It seems to be going on forever. Got a little bit sniffly, so apologies for that. Just like to say thank you to everyone who liked and subscribed since I was last on. Very much appreciated. The channel's growing quite nicely now, thank you. On my previous video about riding the BSA in the winter, at the end of that I said I was getting a new bike. Well, here I am, I'm on my new bike. Two people got it right. They were Martin Owl and Malcolm Kinsley. So if you two would like to send me your addresses, I will get a limited edition sticker out to you. If you'd like to email me at colinfairburn@yahoo.com, that'd be great. So yeah, I've literally just picked up the Himalayan. I've ridden about 2 miles on it so far, so I'm going to try ride it down my favourite country lane, which is pretty much what it's been made for. So what are my first impressions? Well, the first thing is how comfortable it is to sit on. Well, actually you don't particularly sit on these, you sit in them, which may sound a bit strange, but in fact that's the feeling that you get. You're almost wrapped up by the bike, which gives you a good feeling of it being part of you rather than you sitting on top of something. The next thing that I noticed was it had a lot more power than I thought it would, to be honest. Now I know it's only got 24 brake horsepower and a 411cc engine, so it's never going to be that powerful, but actually it's not that bad. It gets up to 60 easily. Got to be a bit careful here, I'm working on brand new tyres. Not quite sure exactly how they're going to react. Brand new tyres to me anyway, they're not actually brand new, but I may well be replacing the front one shortly, so that could do with perhaps an upgrade. So yeah, it's quite pokey actually. It tends to sort of bottom out at about, or top out rather, probably around about 70 miles an hour. But for the kind of riding that I do, it's highly unlikely I'll ever do that, to be honest. Not on this bike anyway. That's a real adventure today on here, isn't it? I've had loads of rain in Yorkshire recently, as I'm sure the rest of the country have as well, in the UK. And everywhere is absolutely saturated. But the hosepipe ban continues. I would have thought it must be getting lifted shortly. So what else can I tell you about this and my first impressions? It's comfortable so far. Don't know what it'd be like after 200 miles, but certainly after a couple of miles it's certainly comfortable. Good view out the wing mirrors, so no problems there. A little bit noisy in the helmet when you're going about 60 miles an hour. I don't think the air is as clean as it is on the BSA, but it's by no means uncomfortable. I'm not sure if the compass is working, I think it is. It might need recalibrating. I believe you just got to ride round in figures of 8 for that. Riding position is very good in terms of visibility. You're a little bit higher up obviously, being a small adventure bike. And I have to say, you do feel it's a very confident ride. I seem to gel with the bike literally within 5 minutes of sitting on it. Still have to get used to the gear ratios and what have you, obviously, and the fueling. But on the face of it, early doors seems pretty good. Oh, okay, up. What we got here? Oh, this is a test, isn't it? Well, there you go. My first bit of adventure riding on this, anyway. What else can I tell you? So the bike itself is a 2019 model. It's done 9,300 miles, so not a lot at all for its age. It's in really good condition, so the people that have had it before have really well looked after it, and the previous owner who just bought it off was sad to see it go, but his elderly gentleman is looking for something a little bit lighter, so he's quite sad to see it go, and I felt a bit sorry for him, really. But I assured him I'll be looking after it as best I can. So this is very much my winter bike, although I was thinking when I was driving on the A59, or riding on the A59 rather, I've kind of fallen in love with this already, which is, it's almost instant attraction. I can understand why there's such a hype over the 411 Himalayan from the riders who ride it. Obviously time will tell whether it's just a fling or whether it's going to be a love affair. We shall have to see. Cyclist coming up. It's the first Royal Enfield I've ever owned. That's the first 400cc bike I've had since I was 25, I think, 26 years old. But yeah, so far loving it. It's a 21-inch front wheel and a 17-inch rear, which seems to suit it down to the ground. So yeah, those are my initial thoughts. Anyone else who's either ridden one or has had one, I'd be glad to hear yours in the comments. One thing that people in the forums say is that the brakes are pretty crappy, and the front brake is, it's not the sharpest, I have to admit, but I've had worse over the years, and at the end of the day it is kind of old school to a large degree. The rear brake's pretty good, so I think as long as you use the two in the right kind of proportion, I don't think I should have any problems with it, to be honest. It's got a few more information sources than the BSA has got. It's got a gear indicator, which is always nice. It's got 5 gears, by the way. Quite torquey engine, with it being a 411 single. So I just need to be careful here, because I don't know how far I can push it on these roads that are covered in leaf mould and gravel and crap. So I'm taking it relatively steady. So overall, yeah, first impressions are extremely good. They came with hand guards as well and heated grips, although I'm not sure if the heated grips are working. I tried to switch them on, but nothing seemed to happen. It could well be operator error. So yeah, that's my initial impression of the 2019 Royal Enfield Himalayan. In terms of future videos, what I'm going to do in the next video, I think, is go through an article that I read in the latest e-magazine I got from Rosper. And it was quite a good article written by a highly experienced examiner and obviously tutor as well, highlighting the most common mistakes that both he and his colleagues have come across over the years, which I'm sure some of them will be a little bit eye-opening for you. I mean, obviously perfect ride or drive never exists, doesn't exist, and we all try our best to be safe. Well, hopefully we do anyway. So what I'll do, I'll probably do it over 2 videos because it's quite a long list of stuff, and I'm sure you'll find it interesting. I know I did. So that's something to look out for. I'm just on the outskirts of Ilkley now. I'll go down the back road, I think, to Otley and then back home. Whoops, wrong gear. So with that, I'll let the film roll on a little bit. It's quite a nice little back road is this, on the way to Otley. And I'll say goodbye to those who are leaving now, but if you want to stay and watch the rest, that'd be great. So thanks very much for watching, hope you enjoyed this. Quite a few of you thought I might be getting a Scram, which of course is a similar, very similar if not the same engine as the Himalayan, and I must admit I did think about it, but from a price point of view, for what I wanted to spend anyway, it was a bit out of my reach really. They were more expensive second hand than actually I thought they would be, if I'm honest, and this came in at an absolute steal of £1,500. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. If you like the video, if you could hit the like button please, and if you could subscribe, that'd be fantastic as well. It's the lifeblood of all YouTubers, as well as watch time. So with the YouTube videos that you do watch, if you try and watch them for as long as possible, that's not just mine but everyone else's, because YouTube algorithm rewards watch time more than anything else. So if you bear that in mind when watching YouTube generally, that would help everyone that you're watching. So with that, thanks very much, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye bye.